All right, yo, it's your man, Darnell, Dunn, and we're here at the Cake Day with Talkin Greasy. Cloud. Clap like you got your income tax check. Cloud. All right, and if you could use hashtag on all your social medias, hashtag TG Live. We want to give a shout out to DJ K-Mo who's been spinning. Dope DJ, dope. Try. All right, and we also want to give a big shout out to King. You can follow them on all their social platforms at Drink to King on Facebook, Drink to King Cocktails. If you want to use that hashtag, it's hashtag Talkin Live tonight. I'm just so happy to be here. You can follow me on Instagram at Duramo, DURNIMO. I am 1/3 of Drinking Partners. Also, I'm co-host of the award-nominated. Those people here too. Both Talkin 30. we are a live radio show. You can follow us on the After Party. It's THAAfterparty.com. We do a live show every Monday from 8 to 10 p.m. on the B side. And I'm here with some of my favorite people, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course, I know. Can we cuss here? Yeah. Already my favorite fucking people.
Hey.
The oh so beautiful Kim.
Why, thank you.
Yeah.
And I tried today.
I tried today. I saw how you put it up there. That's real nice. That's real.
It was a struggle, but I got it.
Yeah. The rubber band is lasting though. I see.
It's not a rubber band.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right, and also Mr. Talkin Greasy himself, Darnell.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, we're gonna have a really good show. Y'all excited?
Yeah.
I need energy. Drink some of this Talkin. It's Saturday night, drink some Talkin. I know how y'all get when y'all be sober. Alright, also please make sure that you get a name tag in the back. We trying to get everybody to know each other, so you could please put your social security number and your date of birth.
Put your debit card number, the whole
number, your credit score. Yo, we're trying to be intimate. You trying to
the numbers on the back.
Yeah, we're trying to really get to know you. Alright, and you can find Talkin at any Kroger's, Goody, Specs, Wines, HEB if you run out to Dallas. It's really, really good. It's really, really good, y'all.
It is.
I'll mix it with dark liquor. That's all I drink is dark liquor. And I drink it straight too.
You trying to get real lit.
I mean, I'm alcoholic. I don't know y'all got alcoholic hosts on y'all show. Yeah, okay, so it's the 1 year anniversary cake day. You can find Talkin Greasy at Talkin Greasy, TALKIN, Greasy on all social platforms. You can find the podcast, SoundCloud, Spreaker. Is it iTunes, Apple Podcast?
Yes, Apple Podcast.
Is it with the update or is this with the, because I got the new phone side?
No, don't put the update.
All right, and let's get this shit started.
Yes.
Amen.
So, for those of y'all who don't know, my name is Kim. I'm one half of the Talkin Greasy podcast. And this is...
Hey, it's your boy Darnell, Mr. Talkin Greasy. Hey man, first thing first, before we even get started, I just want to say thank each and every one of y'all for coming. We wouldn't have made it this far without you, but first thing first, let's get some ground rules out of the way, and then we can hop up in this, because we're gonna be going fast, and I need your help. First thing first, and we're gonna do a Q&A, and you're gonna have to come to the side of Mr. Geronimo and line up right here, and then we're gonna have a small donation section, because we did put all this together. First off, thanks to King, because they were one of the first people to try to sponsor us. Yes. And you're going to have to put it in this little cup. I don't know how you're going to get it in there, but you're going to get it in there. But
I'm so done. This is not my decision, guys.
And then the third thing is, be respectful, have your drinks, keep it clean. And if we cut you off, we're not being disrespectful. We got a limited time, and we want to have enough time to interact with you and drink some more. And sincerely, we do love each and every one of y'all. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
That was like a church announcement.
What the church say, amen.
Amen. So put your tithes in her.
Thank you so much. Saving the day.
Man, so I need it right. All right, why don't you kick us off, Kim?
All right. This is my favorite topic. Well, one of my favorite topics. We're going to be talking about dating and long-term relationships.
Boom.
Shut your ass up. All right. So, why I brought this up? I have one of my favorite shows that I watch on YouTube is Charm School. If y'all heard of that, it is Kim and Crystal, and they had an episode a couple of weeks ago where they were talking about dating and whose job it is to pay when you're on the first date. And I'm sure there are lots of modern ladies in the room, and I'm gonna throw out a kind of divisive topic, if you will. So with us saying that we are modern women, should we expect the same things that we've expected throughout the test of time? The things that your dad taught you, the things your mom taught you. Should we expect those same things if we're trying to transform the way that we are seen by other people? So
look, first, if you don't walk up to me and tell me you're an independent woman, then ask me for something after that independent statement, what are we doing here?
Okay.
I mean, you don't tell your bill collectors, listen, I do not need your electricity, but I will be paying it by next Friday.
Okay, so my question
come on, man, make up your mind.
So my question is, what exactly do you think that women are asking for?
Everything.
Really? Cute.
I mean, listen, I respect any woman that comes to me and says, hey, listen, these are my guidelines. This is how I'm showing respect. Abide by. I respect that. But when you sit up here and tell me you're independent, you don't need a man, you're stronger than me, be my equal yoke can pay for her own stuff.
Okay, you're talking about relationships and that's down the line. Okay. I'm talking about when you first meet somebody.
Oh, you really ain't getting shit.
Can you repeat that one more time?
Shit. Because I do not know you. I'm literally in the beginning stages. You're still talking to plenty of other people. I don't mind being in competition with other men, but at the end of the day, men have to pay to play, and you have to play the risk or reward game. And some women have more risk than reward.
Okay, so let me throw this out there.
Okay.
I would fancy myself to be a very modern lady.
Mm-hmm.
However, again, shut your ass up. Let me finish. I would fancy myself to be a very modern lady. However, I don't see anything wrong with mixing my modern ideals with the things that I've been taught. I think that the point of progression is to take what somebody has taught you and remix it to fit the life that you have right now. That's how we evolve. And if you have not really, the value system for men and women hasn't really changed, I don't see the point in changing what I expect on a date. So if your value as a man is what you can accomplish and what you bring to the table as far as financial stability or any of that, and my worth is my looks, as it's been for the past few centuries, I don't see any point in changing that standard. That if we're going on a date for the first time, I would expect for you to pay.
Well, first date is on me. I don't have no problem with that.
Okay.
But my thing is, you can't mix modern and old.
How come you can't?
You can't. They don't mix.
Explain.
Like right now, you're back. We're having an argument back and forth. Our grandparents didn't argue back and forth. My grandpa said, "Shut the hell up." That was the end of the conversation.
Mine did.
That was the end of the conversation.
My grandma wasn't about that.
Listen.
She had a mouth baby. She used
Listen, both my grandpas been to war. My grandpa slapped a white supremacist in his face and he fought his way out of that town. He wasn't no punk. So if you think you're gonna have that type of man and tell him what to do, I mean or have these new quote unquote standards, but that don't mix.
So she can't have an opinion? Is that what you're saying? Oh.
And it's not because we don't respect women's opinions, but
I beg to differ because
it's not that men don't respect women's opinions. It's that at the end of the day, if you call yourself a man, your ideas are your own and they're based off of a list of other things. As a woman, I feel like women get all their ideas from the society that they're in, the social cues. So I can't even believe or want to join your team when I know most of your ideas didn't even come from you.
We actually get them from y'all.
Really? So you really think a fully blooded man said, "Let's start marriage"?
What?
Let's start marriage. Let's start relationship.
Yes. You know why?
Straight, fully
because
horny. successful man thought that up by himself.
Yes, because back in the day, you had to have a family in order to sustain any amount of financial stability for your family. A lot of times back in the, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80 years ago, people were mainly making their money from agriculture. So having a big family was the way that you were able to sustain yourself. I don't know that's the way my family has been. My family is deeply rooted in the South. And everybody that I know from way, way, way back, they had like 10, 15 children. And that's because they needed to tend to the crops. And today, those might not be the same standards. However, we still hold a premium on relationships and marriage. Whether we believe that it's forever is debatable. Yeah. But it's still heralded. You can't deny that.
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, men had the final say so. They would literally have kingdoms, still have side chicks. They would have a full form of 50 side chicks. I mean, like, why do y'all keep, like, men are gonna cheat forever till they die. Till there's no more men left, there's gonna be men cheating.
I ain't trying to finish this story.
Okay, but see, the thing about what you just said is that it is actually now 2017. So you can go to the person that you are wanting to date before you establish anything and say, look, so right now I'm not looking for monogamy. I would really prefer if this is more of an open thing. Are you into that? If you are, this is the type of situation I'm going to be in. If you are not, I might have to move around, but thank you so much for applying. That's how you do that.
I mean,
it's 2017.
I mean, yes and no, because hence, you're talking about this modern woman. She's less religious, she's more successful, she has more options. She may not want to be in a relationship anymore. So, I mean, the tides are changing, and like I said, I mean, some things are changing, but some things never change about men and women, or will take time upon time to change.
So are you saying that you shouldn't have to pay because you don't know what her expectations are?
No.
I mean, you do have a mouth. You could just ask.
I mean, listen, I don't have a problem taking you out on a date, but hence, let's get the elephant out of the room. I don't know you. Like literally, at the end of the day, you could just be there for a free meal. You could just be there because, you know, your ex ain't calling you no more. Now you want a little bit of attention. Or, as a woman, you just want to see what you're capable of getting out there. So that's.
And what do you want?
I just want some walls and a little bit of conversation.
And you think that is $3.99? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, so you're saying I gotta pay the price? To deal with women? Ladies, do you have to pay to play?
If you do not want to be in anything past sex, you go to somebody and say, hey, I'm just looking for sex. Are you looking for sex? And that's what y'all do.
Listen, it sounds great, but I mean, I'm a man. I've done this whole dating thing. It's not that easy. I tried that once. It worked once.
You tried once and worked once.
Yeah.
Did you hear what you said?
I mean, we're moving on. Next topic.
One tally for me. One for me.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think both y'all answers is wrong, and I think both y'all answers is right. Because y'all, I tell you, because y'all basing y'all ideology off the experience that you had. So it's basically depending on the person that you are trying to court and be something with. Typically, you have to be the head. When you go on a date, you have to show them that you're able to take care of them financially, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Like, you have to do that shit. So that's the risk you take. You take that shit when you apply for a job, you take that shit when you apply for anything. You're applying to be in this relationship with this woman. So, I mean, I understand what you're saying. That you said, like, you did it one time, which, you know, you sound like you're a quitter. But, I mean, you get that can't be your end all. But, I mean, I guess you're going to eventually find someone who's going to be like-minded like you. But that ain't the way. You know your ass won't talk like that. I mean, you said your daddy was, your granddaddy was saying was Sojourner Truth, and he didn't fight for that.
Man, listen.
He probably was fighting that white man because he's trying to hit on his woman. You'll never know.
That do sound like him.
Yeah.
But listen, at the end of the day, man, when we talk to the courting stage, and actually a woman put me up on game, she said, when she dates, she does the first 3 dates are free. That way, if after that third date you don't see nothing worth invested in, everybody can move in. Like, if you want to call yourself the new age woman, give me new age ideas. Because you saying because I have a vagina pay for something, that's old school.
You want a sugar mama. Just say that shit. You want a cougar, a sugar mama to come, might be 40-year-old plus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Let me say this.
let your auntie know.
Let me say this. I'm not mad. I'm not completely mad at the free date thing if you're going to be creative. If you're going to be creative. That's the caveat. Because I like creative things, I value that. However, do not think that because I said, okay, let's do the first 3 days free, that you're going to take me to McDonald's on the 4th date.
What about Wendy's? They got that new dream, but
Bye.
You know what I do if they want to go on a date? I hit them with the old coffee date because that way we have to talk and we have to look at each other. And then all I spent was $10 because you know Starbucks high strict. Hey, I don't got to drink coffee.
Get some tea or something like that. That's low key. You get to talk and get to know each other. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, because you know what? I hate a movie date because after the movie done, I'm ready to go. It's like I'm ready to go home, eat something, chill, and all that. And then if we go to a dinner date, I mean, shit, we eating. I mean, I don't like to be bothered too much. Like,
So what do you do on dates?
what I do on dates, I pay to listen for the majority of the conversation.
That sounds like you.
And then, you know, I try to get through the day, see who she is as a person, and just listen in for bullshit. Because, I mean, like, they be saying shit that don't even match. You know, they'll be like, so what you do for a living? You know, I'm a dominatrix. For real?
Who are you eating?
You don't want to know. And then, like I was saying,
Get your ass off playing fish, man. You in the wrong category.
Listen, cricket fishes of hell. It is.
all right, what's
Let's go past the who should pay. So we're talking about double standards and the way men see dating versus the way women see dating. One thing that I don't like is when you're in the dating scene, it's kind of expected of women to only date one person at a time just because.
Since when?
Okay. Let me explain. Because I think what is associated with dating is sex a lot of times. So when men know that you're dating multiple people, then they assume that you're having sex with multiple people, and that's a turn off for lots of guys. And that's one thing that I don't like, just because I can't know that I'm with the right person unless I'm talking to other people to compare and contrast.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think if any man sits up here and gets in his feelings because you dating other people, that's a red flag. That shows he's insecure about something. Like me, I know there's millions upon billions of dudes fly to me, everything else. But at the end of the day, I know once a woman's up under me and we having real conversations and I figure out she's who she say she is, I'm rocking with her full force. And I know a couple of people gonna rock with it the same way as me, so I don't have no problem with that. And then also, back to what you said, you need something to compare it to. If you meet one awesome person, that you just met one awesome person, you don't know if there's better, you don't know if there's worse, you don't know if you're just dating this person because, hey, this is the first available person who came up to me. You need to weigh your options. And you know what? Let's put it out there. Men feel insecure that you have more options because, let's be honest, women can get more guys than guys can get more girls, on average.
I mean, it's not just that. I mean, yes, that, but if you also take it to the sex conversation, that's definitely the case as well.
I mean, well, as a guy, I would rather go up against one dick than, like, let's say you fuck 10 niggas. That's 11 dicks I gotta beat. I know my mask off. Forget you. I know my mask off. Leave me alone.
So what's the problem?
I mean, like I said, you can beat one other dude. You can out-lick or out-smash one dude, but then you got 10 dudes. Come on now.
Okay. I mean, that has nothing to do with you, though.
It does, though. If I'm in lovey-dovey land and I want to secure you, I gotta beat 10 other dudes. That's hard. I'm not saying it's undoable, but for the average dude, he might start realizing he ain't as fly as he think he is.
Well, see, here's the thing. You shouldn't be worried about the other 10. You should just be there with that woman and see what y'all can do together. If y'all vibe well enough, she's going to go with you versus the other 10.
Listen, you can be a Lawrence ass nigga and Daniel is right around the corner. Right around the corner. So let's not
Lawrence
even go there.
was a bum. So,
Listen, Lawrence was tall, dark, handsome, and had a promising career, and he still got cheated on by a music producer.
When he decided to get a job.
Nigga with a beat machine. That's it.
He had unemployment. I don't understand what about the triple. He had his own
For
money.
2 years?
Yes, you give us. Yes.
Where do they do that at?
Yeah.
2 years of unemployment?
Low key, I wanted to hit him up. Like, how you do that?
You
Come on.
have.
Low key.
You should have done that.
If Lawrence was a real nigga, I would have texted him as soon as the episode's over. Like, bro, how you make that happen?
You should have done that and reported back, because I would like to know how you have unemployment for 2 consecutive years. That's a lie. That's a lie.
Man, that nigga must have got a job, quit a job, got a job, quit a job.
No, he got a job, got fired from a job. Got a job, got fired from a job. So he getting unemployed.
Man, that's finessing. We should applaud him just for that. He's still bringing in money without even working. That's a nigga you need on your team.
That's from Hollywood for real. I want to see how that works in real life. Okay, since you brought up Lawrence.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
We got 9 minutes. Why not?
Yeah.
You brought up Lawrence, and you said that he was the epitome of what a woman would be looking for.
I didn't say you did.
You did.
I said tall, dark, and handsome is the average.
You said that. This is why
he had all them check marks.
This is why I interpret it that way. You said you can be a Lawrence ass nigga as if he's the standard, and then Daniel will be around the corner.
Listen, man. I don't care how good you talking to your girl, how good you think you're hitting it. There's a nigga in her phone waiting for his chance or already has the chance, but she's still trying to believe in your dumb ass.
Did you see their sex scenes pre-job?
Huh?
Did you see their sex scenes pre-job? Don't do that.
Magnificent.
Hell. No. I beg to differ. Lawrence with the sweatpants? Absolutely not.
Thanks.
No. I still don't understand why Lawrence Hive is so strong.
Okay.
But
You want to get questions from the audience and see what they?
Yeah.
All right. So who's team Lawrence and who's team Daniel?
Lawrence right here.
She can't. Let us speak.
Ma'am, please come forward.
Come forward.
Please.
It's an alpha call.
Please.
Y'all clap for her. She's ready to testify. Even now, Father.
Hey, ma'am, could you come to this side, please?
Give me your name, where you from? You're so scared of me your name. Okay.
I'm a scammer here, so I'm taking social security numbers in the back. Whoever needs it, on it, I got it.
you gonna pass it for us.
Hey, teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Go ahead.
I'm Candace Now from the Black Married Fly podcast, but I've been a Lawrence Hive member since inception.
Yeah.
But just because I want to see a black man win. Like, I feel like black men take so many L's on TV that we need to see somebody win, even if it's in a small HBO sector.
But did he want to see himself win though? From the very beginning.
He didn't believe in himself in the beginning, but then he got his fly kicks. White juice was like, yo, check the Jordans, and he's like, listen.
That's
he
why,
came back.
See, that's why we need hoes.
Right.
Hoes make you believe in yourself a little bit. Like, for real. You get
How did we get here?
like
How did we get right here?
No, for real. You get like 2 or 3 of them. You thinking somebody for a minute.
That's disgusting.
True.
It's the society we live in, damn it. So.
So you're getting your self-worth from quote-unquote hoes?
Yes.
Explain.
No, from sexual activity with hoes. Nothing more, nothing less.
Sexual activity with hoes.
They're like gold stars when you was in kindergarten. Your teacher got you a gold star.
You been getting bad check marks all.
I'm still not past that you get your self-worth from sex. How?
You're a man. What you mean? Oh, we got somebody.
You want?
Oh Lord.
All right.
You know what I know.
Be with us, Jesus.
Hey, what's good, y'all? HK Jamal, Problematic Safe Place. This is one half. of the Problematic Safe Place podcast. But wait, what was the question again?
I'm done with you.
Hey, he just pointed at me and I was like, what was it?
Yo, you get like that.
Never mind.
Hold on.
Give them the question again, please.
Yeah, get it right.
I asked him how you get your self-worth from sex.
Okay. I mean, let's think about it. Everything that a man does, pretty much, from the way he dresses, the job that, aiming for the high-paying job, everything that a man does can, at the end of the day can be related to sex. There really can't name one thing that a man does that can't, the way that he presents himself on the outside, that can't, at the end of the day, end in possible getting more sex.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
The only thing I can
Sex is like the biggest motivating factor for pretty much any man.
So
you know what? I gotta agree with you.
Why do men strive to be successful?
The only thing that I do that doesn't involve women is breathing. That's for me.
Do you think we would give a fuck how we dress? Why do you think ball players don't even dress? I mean, a lot of ball players and rappers who already made it. Look at J. Cole, for instance, Kendrick. Once you make it to a certain point, you don't even have to try anymore.
They already had women though. Yeah. So you gotta get it out.
That's trash.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
You wanna say something? Go ahead.
Hey, we're gonna listen to Q, then that nigga gonna be our last one.
Yeah, and give your credits for your social security number.
Man, you gonna be disappointed. Yeah, what's going on, man? I'm Q from Chopped Up with Q podcast, also 1/3 of Talkin 30 radio show.
Award nominated.
Yeah, oh my bad, award nominated Talkin 30. But to kind of piggyback what my man was saying, the motivation is sex in the end for a lot of guys. There is a reason, because you put it like this, if I didn't get draws at the end, most dudes would be like, man, I'm just sitting at home, I ain't got shit to do. I'm just sitting here play the game, I ain't got nothing to do. Why do it? But it is one of those things. That's why guys go to college. That's why I go get the degrees. Why? It makes me more marketable.
What?
It really does. It makes me more marketable in the end.
You have no self-worth?
No. I mean, I do. I'm just saying.
Got man in the front. Thank you.
But no, that has nothing. But there is a thing of anybody who sit there say you don't get confidence with other people. Sometimes that's false, because there's a reason why you like when somebody say, "Oh, you look pretty today.
Yeah.
You look good. Hey, you do this. You're doing that." And like with the situation when it comes to sides, and then we just take Tasha. Tasha told him, "You can do it. You can do things. You got it. You know." She basically built that confidence back. He's like, "Oh, I can do this."
Okay, but you don't think he ever heard that from Issa? Issa probably got tired after 2 years of constantly saying that.
Issa was like,
okay, get off the couch now.
Exactly.
Do you know how easy it is for a woman to get fed up with you? Come on, it is not that hard.
Have a job. That's like the bare minimum. Have a job.
You know if a dude working at Win, that's a job, but you ain't front row. He worked at Best Buy.
Hey man.
No, here's my thing. He had something that he had a goal to accomplish something. If you work at Best Buy, but you're working on an app, that is very different than you have done nothing with the app for 2 years, you're just on the couch.
But she stayed by him while he was on the couch.
Huh?
Yeah, she stayed by him while he was on the couch. If she had a problem with that, she should have left.
I agree.
Damn.
She should have left probably a long time ago.
And on that note, Geronimo?
Yeah, we're going to take a break again. We're still looking for social security numbers and now we're doing credit scores on this break. We're going to take a break. It's the King. It's the King again. Hashtag is CG Live. Please hashtag on our social media platforms. It's going to be about 15 minutes.
10.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, I see y'all really aggressive. The King changed you.
Hey.
Yeah, let's go ahead. DJ, again, that DJ came on the bed, play that trap shit. Oh.
Oh, whatever you like.
gangsters on the road with them killers. Don't kill me if I snitch. If you snitch, I'm gonna kill you. Spend a lot of time on the
Alright, I answer yourself.
Order.
Yeah, again, Takin is right here. Shout out to Drink Takin. You can follow him on Instagram, Drink Takin. Again, we doing hashtag TG Live. It's Cat Day. And shit, let's get back into this shit.
Yes.
Please.
Darnell asked for the troll, as usual.
Yes. I believe this is your troll-tastic topic.
Troll-tastic. I like that's it. Is that on the superstition?
Let's put that in Merriam-Webster. Anybody who has a plug, let me know. You hear that? You laugh, sir?
Yeah.
All right.
Want some to show it?
All right, so this cat has got his tongue handled.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about relationships now. Long-term relationships. But it is 2017. There are lots of types of relationships. And so I would like to know what the verdict is about some of these different types that we're seeing. If we're talking about Insecure once again, Dro was in an open relationship. And I want to see what everybody's verdict is about open relationships or polyamory, which is different, but it's not the same thing as an open relationship. But I want to see where we stand as far as how I feel about how that works. How does that work?
First thing first, when we talk about long-term relationships, you have to have a few skills, and most people don't have it. Like, we live in 2017. You can order a package right now and probably get it, Sunday, Monday? I mean, most people ain't waiting for nothing. You have to be patient, forgiving, and understanding. And most people, and those skills are gone. Gone.
Okay. How so?
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you want to know why our grandparents, quote unquote, lasted? Because they forgave and they moved on. Most people can't do that nowadays. There's people I still hate from 90 something.
Okay. Same. However, I believe that part of the reason why they stayed together is out of necessity sometimes. Back in the 50s and 60s, I use that example. In the South, which is where I think a lot of us are from, their main source of income was either agriculture or something industrial, which meant that a lot of times one was staying home, the man was out working. And it took both of them to sustain a household. Now, that came along with the understanding that whatever happens in that relationship, they're in that for the long haul. Today, I feel like people realize they have options. And whether that makes it better or worse for long-term relationships, I believe that's a non-factor. If you see something that's not working, you shouldn't feel bad about moving around.
I mean, listen, when we talk about people having options, women have always had more options. Women always think they can do better. There's somebody grandma that thinks she could have got with Al Green. Like, that's how women think. They think they can always do better. But if you want to really test that out, I mean, you only got a few people that want to be with you long term. And 9 times out of 10, you don't want those people.
So let's start talking about the actual topic, which is open relationships, polyamory. How do we think that works with long-term relationships?
Yes, can we ask, is monogamy something that's really natural? Can we start with that?
It's not. It's not.
It's not.
Let's all she just said it's not.
I even heard a girl say nah.
It's not.
She's a shit.
Okay, this is the reason why I believe that people can't be in monogamous relationships. Because people have. End of discussion.
It's a choice.
Since there was such thing as relationships, have been a monogamous relationship.
I mean,
if it's not for you though, that's perfectly fine, and you do something that is for you or whoever you're with.
I mean,
that's the way I see that.
Well, first thing first, the system gives women so many outs nowadays. Like, why would you be?
What are you talking about?
No, No, as far as marriage and the penalties, women have so many ways out. Like, why would you say? Like, women really, I feel like in the next 10 to 15 years, women are going to be single much longer. It's like,
why? Can you explain that?
because, I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, what's your motivation to settle down? If you want to have kids, you can find a dude that have kids. If you want to get married, you can,
it's companionship,
and you're attractive, you can find a dude. But at the end of the day, I mean, that's not a long-term contract. Like, getting married is not the end-all, be-all anymore. Like, back in the day, after you got married, you literally died, what, like 20 more years after that? So, I mean, nowadays, you live longer, you make more money, most people are more attractive, and you got more attractive people around you. I mean, why would you say long-term?
Okay, I'm gonna need you to stop comparing long-term relationships to orders at Fashion Nova, okay?
Listen.
You don't just pick and choose, you don't just pick and choose what you want.
Who hurt
like
you?
that.
Listen.
People are actually looking for long-term relationships these days.
Listen.
And people, just because women can get great jobs or have artificial insemination or whatever, does not mean that that is what women are looking for. Just because it's 2017 does not mean they're trying to get impregnated by a robot. Like, that's not what it is.
But you know what? When I think of marriage, I think of a jail sentence. I mean, like, it has its conditions, and if you're lucky, you might get out on parole. But for the most part, I mean, that's how I see it.
Can we pop? Who hurt your ass? Who hurt your ass? There's a lot of hurt, and I'm gonna get it. I'm like, no. I don't need no class. This is serious. This is an intervention. It's not a live show. This is an intervention.
I feel it, bro. I feel it.
Hey, whoa. What we're not gonna do is overtalk. If you got an opinion, come right here.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, EJ.
Now, do you know the question? You know how your ass is. You know the question. You know how your ass is last time. All right, come on. Oh shit. Oh shoot.
Alright, I love this topic, okay? So we hit on this on my podcast too, The Problematic Safe Place. I'll check that out. Wait, question, my main thesis, I guess you could say, is, man, marriage is outdated. Marriage has become outdated. Okay, I feel that traditional marriage hasn't caught up with modern relationships. Kind of like what you were talking about earlier, B. The way that people don't have the patience or don't have that longevity to persevere and push through. We live in a microwave, instant gratification era. I don't think millennials in particular, especially millennials, have the patience to stick it through. And like Kim was saying, with all the options that we have, with those time periods that you listed, those time periods were pre-feminism. I'm all for feminism. I love what it accomplished. I love that women are closer to having as equal opportunities as men. But the downside of that is they don't need us as much. So what incentive do they have to stay together with a man like our grandparents and our grandmothers had to stay and work together with?
Okay.
Whoa, we got somebody else.
I got what I need when it's
Hey, just come on up anyway. Come over here.
Sure. My name is Stephanie, and I'm waiting on y'all to
Hey, whoa.
Hear me clap one.
Hey, everybody.
Hear me clap twice.
Hey, everybody, we're gonna give this lady the respect because we didn't hear it on the video, and we want to hear her opinion.
Yeah, I got it.
Alright, so I'm Stephanie with DBS Radio, stands for Don't Do Bullshit Radio. And there are a few things that I see happening in this conversation.
Oh.
Yes.
One was a question, open relationship, and what was it? Polyamory and stuff, right? Right, no, I'm just like, focusing on what the questions really were. You said women have more options than men, when the truth is less of y'all than there are us. Relationships are more about the commitment that you make to your partner than anything else. You make your own rules.
Yes.
Right? So, like, I just don't. We all say you want monogamous relationships, but that means you date one person for life.
Yes.
So if you are doing your second relationship, you're no longer monogamous. Thanks.
Wait, what?
Monogamy, by definition, is one person for life. So if you're in a relationship 2 or 3, you're no longer monogamous.
Okay, well, educate me because I didn't.
That's dating.
very unaware.
What else? I don't know. I think we just need to be realistic about desires and what people want.
Yes.
And listening, and then that's how you get patience and working with your partner.
Yes. So please let me know what you call this. When you're in a relationship with one person.
I mean, listen, being with one person.
Okay.
And listen, being with one person is great, but I have never did one thing for a majority of my life. I changed my ideas, who I am, and for you to look at me and tell me, hey, this one person is going to be everything to me, that's kind of a hard sell.
Come on, let's let the black men speak on everything. I hope you live in monogamy.
Troublemaker Black Man Fly podcast. So I'm in a relationship, married, been married, gonna be married for the rest of my life.
Yes.
Wave your hand, Ken.
Shout out to love.
Black love?
Black love matters.
So the thing I think is like with relationships, I think like going back to what my man said about like millennials not having patience, I think the real thing is that a lot of people aren't shown what marriage all entails. They see something like the Cosby Show or something like they see on TV, and they don't see all this work that happens behind the scenes. And I think like you don't seem like you prep for a monogamous relationship, and that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think somebody should be criticized necessarily because they don't believe in monogamy. I just think people need to know that ahead of time before they get into a relationship. A lot of people see the wedding and all the pomp and circumstance, and they don't see the work. So,
yeah, of course not. And the messed up part to that is more people want the title than anything.
Exactly.
They don't want the work. They don't want to because here's the secret to relationships nobody told me about growing up. When you're in a relationship, it really reveals who you are and how you deal with other people.
Sure.
And it really tests who you are and if you're good enough for other people to date.
Absolutely.
No, but we got one more person.
State your platform, everybody.
It's your boy Jay Will from also the award-nominated podcast. I just noticed that there's one thing that nobody's mentioning, which is a lot of millennials are.
Whoa. So excuse me, Jay Will. Everybody, first thing first. Let's give everybody the proper respect. We're almost done. Thank you. Jay Will, continue.
I think the one thing nobody's really mentioning right now is a lot of millennials, like myself, are children of divorce. So a lot of us don't really realize subconsciously what that does to us. A lot of times for me personally, every time I've gotten close to somebody, I end up saying to myself, man, I hope I don't end up like my dad.
Okay.
You know?
Sorry about that, man.
So it's I think it's just something that we subconsciously think about, not purposely think about.
Dang, that's
Okay.
Hey, thank you for opening up, Jay Will.
Yeah, that's good.
That's definitely a good point. But I have seen it work the opposite way. I've seen people who were the product of a divorce, two divorced parents, and they said, okay, I know that I want to be with somebody for the rest of my life. Let me see what I have to do to make this work with this person. And they've been married for years.
Can I say this real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, what I think is that, like, since we 80 back to the millennials, like, a lot of us grew up in single parent homes. You know what I'm saying? Not me, my mama call my daddy. But I think that we try to idealize and fantasize this ideal of marriage and try to seek it out because you think it's something that you actually miss.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's nothing wrong with, sleeping around, shit, I do that. And I think it's just really your own personal preference what people don't take accountability for. Accountability is the word we use on the nominated Talkin Greasy. But I'm saying, I think that it's basically your own personal choice. Like, you cannot decide, you just find the right person and then move forward that way.
Hey man, I'm just gonna keep it real. When we talk about long-term relationships, first thing first, before you even involve another human being, check yourself. Make sure you even good enough to go out there mentally, financially, emotionally, because hurt people. That's literally why, like, after, my time and my horrible breakup, I didn't talk to anybody because nobody deserved to take on my problems when we just dated. Like, you don't know me, you don't owe me anything, and you shouldn't have to go through something you didn't even put me through.
Yeah, I agree with that. But one thing that I want to address that you mentioned earlier that I think needs to be said is that, yes, if your ultimate goal is to be in a long-term relationship, you definitely have to see how you can work things out. However, it is okay to have standards for your relationship and to have standards for who you want to be with. And if you feel like what's happening is not what you want for yourself, then it's okay to drop that. Let's get away from the, oh, we're millennials, we can't do anything past 5 seconds. No, that's bullshit. We can commit to some things. Just because we were born in the 80s doesn't mean we can't commit to something. That's a cop-out.
But you know what? That brings in our final section, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Kevin Hart. Oh,
He gonna be
we going in. Kevin Hart was caught in Las Vegas with 2 Hispanic ladies recorded, and he was possibly getting extorted from these ladies for, I think it was like 15 million.
I believe that was the figure.
Yeah.
Definitely 8 figures.
Man, first thing first, that's overpriced. For real. I mean,
is he worth 10 million?
Kevin Hart.
That's why I think he's trying to say it because they'll be bankruptcy.
like 200.
200 million?
Yeah.
I need to pay this shit.
Damn!
Hey, we all
I'm listening to the Breakfast Club. That's me.
We don't listen to Breakfast Club on the show.
Hey, but let's have an open, honest conversation. When a married man cheats, who's at fault? The married man or the woman who's extorting him?
It is 100% the married man's fault.
She by herself.
Wait, if you do not have,
No.
let me get this out.
Tristan, come on up.
Let me get this out. If you do not have the type of relationship where you guys can have sex with other people in your relationship, you have chosen to be with this one person. You made that decision as a grown man. You stand on that. Period. That is him. That is his fault. I don't feel sorry for anything that happened to him. Now, should she have tried to extort him? Absolutely not. However, that is what you get into when you have sex with people outside of your marriage and you don't know what you're doing.
Listen, first thing first, before Tristan comments, I totally agree. Both parties are at fault. But you got me messed up. If I'm worth 200 million, don't ask me if I'm cheating. No, I'm cheating.
All right, fuck this is like.
I mean, that's our time. Don't worry about what we do.
Let's see what you have to say, but no, I got something for that ass. I cannot believe you just said that.
Hey, can we give Tristan the proper respect? Thank you.
Random black citizen here. So, in my opinion, both people are at fault, but it kind of gets into like a digression when you look at it when you have somebody who's on a high pedestal and then you have somebody who's using predatory behavior to come after that person to take their money.
Okay.
It's like, I could see if like, hey, yeah, he cheated and they were just in love and something like that. But if you go after somebody with the sole purpose of trapping them so that you can take money from them, that's horrible.
Okay, what's between that and that sounds like a bill collector.
But do not put yourself in that position and it will not happen to you.
Last
one. You are a celebrity does not give you the right to do whatever the fuck you want to do in a relationship. You said no. Because you know what? At the end of the day, she can be with somebody else who has money. It does not have to be Kevin Hart. If they decided they're going to be together, just them two, then that's what he needs to do. If he didn't want that, as Kevin Hart, he could have said, look, I'm not looking for a relationship with just one person. I'm looking to be with multiple people. I am Kevin Hart. I can do that. If you don't want that, then you do not have to be with me. He can't do that. He's Kevin Hart.
Oh, okay. This is our last person. Then we're gonna kind of get close to finishing this up. Ma'am.
Hi, my name is Cleo. I just wanted to say Kevin Hart was stupid. And Kevin Hart has seen time and time again that type of woman who comes after the man with money.
Thank you.
And gets trapped. And it's just stupid. Just stupid. And he put himself in that position.
Sure did.
And he should have, if he knew he wanted to cheat, like Kim said, he should have made it clear to his wife, hey, we're not going to be
exclusive.
Or yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? But that was stupid. That's why he got himself in the position that he is.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Kim,
Does anybody else want to comment on this situation?
last chance.
Nah, she know. No. Anybody, he said anybody else.
Hey, AJ, hey, listen, we trying to wrap this up, so pass it to AJ, then EJ, then we done. I'm done.
Shit.
Only thing I'm gonna say is the only, motherfuckers cheat. That's, everybody know that shit happened. But to me, where he fucked up is when don't nobody want to go through a process, like I said, every time they want to fuck something. Don't nobody want to do that. I don't want no paperwork. I don't want no none of the forms, none of that. But you need that. Where he fucked up is he did it more than once with the same chick. If you gonna fuck with one chick and you married, you better get some paperwork. You better you better have the FBI come and wipe that motherfucker down for wives and everything. But that's all I was saying.
EJ, yup.
Last thing, with closing comments.
Here you go.
Kevin's a victim. Okay, he's a victim.
Get out of here.
Okay, he's a victim of
GTFO.
He's a victim of celebrity.
Bro, you making people leave.
He's a victim of and stay with his gospel. Real talk, man. Honestly, Kev, this was. I won't call Kev stupid. I won't call him stupid for it, but he did fuck this up all the way. But from a human side, you gotta look at it. Kev was this 5'4" dude who came up. You know, he didn't see any, he wasn't used to getting this much pussy. Now he's worth $70 million.
Oh my God.
He's now 120 mil. What I'm saying is, how are you supposed to? If you go into a relationship with this man, you gotta expect that he's gonna have a couple of things.
Alright, well,
I think he's speaking because, you fuck with her? Huh? You fuck with her? Or fuck?
Yeah.
What's not a word? Why y'all wanna jump in?
hey, you better stop showing niggas love to fight.
Shit, I love to fucking fight too.
I'm appalled.
Kim, did you have any final thoughts, and then we're gonna let Darnell wrap us up?
I'm appalled by that statement. Number one. Number two. Yes, I am appalled.
I am trying.
Clutching my musical pearls. I would like to say, I feel I give no fucks for Kevin Hart. He lives himself. There's nothing else to say. That's his fault.
Okay, but before we let Geronimo wrap it up and we just gonna drink and conversate, first thing first, may I have your attention please? And can you keep the conversations to a minimum?
It's EJ.
Hey, thank you so much. Well, first thing first, before I wrap this thing up, this is Talkin Greasy's 1 year cake day. And first thing first, I'm gonna thank God for this one. Second off, all of y'all, because my family included, my friends, to King, we really wouldn't have made it this far without y'all.
Yes.
In every sense of the word. I want to, all BS aside, I want to thank my co-host Kim. I asked her a year ago to, join me on this venture, and all I had at the time was just some hope and a little bit of studio time, and she's been rocking with me. Also, I want y'all to thank y'all motherfucking host, the Geronimo the goddamn John. Amen.
This guy.
Hey, and if you want to catch this guy and Q, hit him up on the After Party Radio every Monday from 8 to 10 p.m. on the B-side. Y'all
Yes, and Ashley's the best.
And then also, we have worked very, very hard to build this community of podcasters, because at the end of the day, we really, really rock with y'all. Talkin Greasy was made to give voices to people like y'all. We don't have to agree, we don't have to fight all the time, but we do have to grow and have these conversations that's gonna be tough. And I really do believe, looking at in this room, that the world's a much beautiful place because people like y'all are in it, man.
Oh my God!
I just want to.
You know what? You did good after all that shit.
Hey, man. But I'm gonna wrap it up and then I'm gonna let Geronimo have it.
I didn't drink enough tequila to cry.
Tequila tells the truth.
Hey, man. Because it ain't easy talking greasy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, wrap it up.
All right, again, yo, Shemay Geronimo Dunn. You can follow me on Instagram at Geronimo DRNIMO. I am 1/3 of a drinking partner. Shout out to the talented one from McKay here and the real Darnell in the back. All right, I'm also a co-host of the award-nominated Talkin 30 Live. Please vote for us. Look at it.
You better get on the stage.
But thank you guys. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We really appreciate it. Please follow these people on all their social platforms at Talkin Greasy. It's TALKIN because they're very ethnic. Shout out to Drinking Talkin again. You can follow them on Instagram at Drink Talkin. That's TEKEN. Not to confuse with Tekken because you know how y'all is. So glad. Shout out to all the podcasts on here. I see y'all. Hey. Don't take it personal. Us. And Black Nerd and Fly back there. Thank y'all so much for coming. Let's drink Talkin. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, bro. Shout out to DJ K. Moore.
Hey, man, and if you want to listen to more DJ K Moore, go to Already Radio. You can find it on iTunes. He does great mixes. And you guys, I'm going to tell you right now, we wrap this mug up at 10 on the dot. So get you some drinks, conversate, get a business card if you want to be on our show. We would love to have you.
Media at Talkin Greasy. We are on Google, SoundCloud, Apple Podcast apps, Stitcher, and Spreaker.
And y'all have a great night.
Yes, thank you so much for coming.
God bless.
Nobody cares that he had a pregnant wife and he cheated and took an oath for God. He wasn't ready for that shit.
Get that camera out my goddamn face.